Fight fans, like back to Carl Prusa MMA. Today I'm here with one half PFL Charlotte main event. He is Mr. Dalton Rosta getting ready, fighting Bryan Battle. Dalton, what's up, my friend? How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Awesome to have you on here. So here you are in Charlotte now. Is it pretty cool walking up the hotel, seeing your face on the poster, knowing we're just days out from getting into it?
Yeah, man, I can't wait. This is going to be a fun fight. I was a big fan of Bryan Battle when he was in the UFC, but now he's an opponent of mine, and I think he has a fun style. He's fun to talk shit back and forth with, and I think it's going to be a great week.
Absolutely, man. You're such a well-rounded martial artist. We've seen the wrestling, the jiu-jitsu's on point. The striking's very deadly. For you, has that always been the goal, to try to get as well-rounded as possible?
Honestly, it just kind of worked out like that, if I'm being completely honest. I grew up boxing and wrestling, and then I dabbled in a little bit of jiu-jitsu whenever I was like 11, 12 years old. Started boxing when I was like 9, 10. But I didn't really like stick with any of it because I was playing football growing up, and then I was wrestling as well. I got back into wrestling in high school, so that was kind of like my main base. But I feel like I'm pretty athletic, and I learn and adapt pretty quickly. And with my background of dabbling and everything, and I had the kind of the base started, and my ability to learn quickly, it just kind of worked out that way.
There's so many people watching this sport in this day and age, and very few people understand before you make it to the PFL, before you make it to the UFC, when you're battling on the regional scene, man, you're not making Conor McGregor money. You're missing birthdays, weddings, Thanksgivings, dinners. And even when you get to the big show, you're doing the same thing. You're grinding in and day out. What makes you want to sacrifice and do this every single day?
I just love it, man. It's like one of those things where it's hard to articulate it and explain it to people. But when you're passionate about something, and that's all you want to do. I mean, at the end of the day, you find a way to do it. And I had to sacrifice a lot, like you said. I didn't go on these vacation or these spring breaks whenever I was in college. I didn't even want to finish college, to be honest with you. After I got hurt playing football my sophomore year, I kind of wanted to just focus on fighting from that point forward. But my dad passed away, and I know my dad would have wanted me to at least get my degree. So I kind of stuck with it, and I worked just enough to where I could pay my bills and still be on like the honors, the dean's list. And I'd studied just enough. I probably could have been on the president's list every semester, if I'm being honest, but I'd studied just enough and did just enough work to where I could still train 2 to 3 times per day. And all of that together, I didn't really have time for much else. I didn't really see my friends too often. All my money was, going into rent, into food, and to like my gas tank to get to and from school, because I was commuting and to and from practice, and a lot of the time I was overdrafting on my bank account. There was a lot I had to do to get to this point, and I wouldn't trade a thing, to be honest with you. I'm not where I want to be yet, so these sacrifices are still coming day in and day out. And but I know I got to the dance by sacrificing everything, so I know that I could become a world champion, become the best by doing the same thing. So I'm not giving up just yet.
For you, do you think fighting is more mental than it is physical?
I think it's about 50-50. If you don't have the physicality to do it, you won't succeed. But if you can't mentally handle everything that goes into camp, everything that goes into a fight, the pressure with the crowd, the things that are going on with your personal life, it's not going to work out either. So I think it's 50-50. I can't give you an exact percentage, but that's my insight on it.
Last year you had an absolute breakout season in the PFL. Now you're one of those main event guys. You're one of the biggest names in the promotion. Is it pretty cool to see where you've grown up? You started off in Bellator and climbed your way up the ranks of the PFL, and now kind of be one of these big main event guys?
Yeah, for sure. And I kind of touched on this a little bit in my press conference, in the press conference that they had. I'm on a 2-fight losing streak, and nobody wants to be there, especially me. Especially in 2 fights that I could have and should have won. I was up 2-0 on the scorecards, and against Fabian Edwards, got caught with a head kick. He struck lightning in a bottle, and I ended up losing that fight. Lost the $500,000 bonus, plus my win bonus on top of that, plus endorsement deals that I had set up if I won, plus another title shot. And, there was a lot of embarrassment that came with that for me, and then them posting my girlfriend at the time, her face all over the place as well. So that one hurt pretty bad. It was probably the lowest point in my entire life. And then I had an opportunity for a comeback fight against Impa, and to really like kind of like jump the line and put myself right back in there for the title. And it was a very winnable fight as well, a fight that I was having some success in and doing well up until I wasn't. But that's kind of been the story of my last two fights. I'm doing well up until I'm not. And even I would have loved to get those two wins, but at the end of the day, I didn't, and it's part of my story now. And now it's like looking to make a comeback story. And that being said, even after two losses in a row, two knockout losses, I'm still one half of this main event in Charlotte. So I'm one of the few people in the promotion that I feel like even after two losses and two losses like that, my stock still went up. And I'm still right in the mix, and they still want to promote me. They still want to push me. You got other names in there, and I'm not going to name drop anybody, but there's people that are doing good and they're winning, and they're just not marketable. And that's not me talking shit. That's just me telling the truth. And no matter how well they do, it's hard to push them. People don't get behind them. The fans don't resonate with them, whatever. And I'm not saying that I'm the most marketable guy either, but obviously I'm doing something right. And whether it's my fighting style, whether it's the way I promote the fights coming up, maybe it's a combination of both. All my fights are fun, no matter what fight I'm in, win, lose, draw, they're all fun. And you can definitely expect a good fight no matter what fight I'm in.
You're part of one of the biggest best teams in the world, American Top Team. Obviously, so many killers out there. What's it like to be able to lean on and get support from those guys?
I mean, it's great, man. From the coaches to the facility to the training partners, everybody's great. So there's not you don't lack anything in that gym. So if you need something or need a partner or need a certain look or need a certain coach, there's always someone to turn to.
You mentioned you're never a dull moment for Dalton Rosta when he fights. There's never a boring one. You're also a showman, man. You are amazing on the mic. You like to engage in mental warfare sometimes with your opponents. How much fun do you enjoy doing this?
Man, I love it. And listen, everybody's going to have shit to say. And for me, I'm having fun and I'm enjoying myself. I'm not looking to please anybody, because at the end of the day, the fans, win, lose, draw, they all have their opinion on you at the end of the day. And if I were to lose and they all turn their backs on me, all I have myself at the end of the day. So I'm looking to make myself happy, because if you try to please one half the MMA community, you're going to piss off the other half. So I'm doing what makes me happy at the end of the day, what I feel like I want to do, what is fun for me. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm just having fun with it. And the shit talk, I love it. Growing up in sports where I came from, it's a big part of our culture. So I know a lot of people don't understand that. Not everybody grew up that way, but that's the way I grew up, and I like having fun with it. And that's what I'm going to continue to do. So from the very start of camp all the way up until the fight, I'm going to have fun talking shit. And then I'm going to have fun talking shit and fighting in the cage as well.
Some really interesting news happened last week. Obviously, a partnership between the PFL and MVP. Have you thought maybe that could create some cool opportunities for you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it means for the fighters right now. It kind of came out of nowhere. There was really no talk of it. But I remember with Bellator, because I was with Bellator beforehand, there was a lot of talk of a possible merger beforehand. So it was kind of like expected before it happened. But this one, it kind of just came out of the blue. So I woke up and I saw the news just like everybody else. And yeah, I don't know what it means. I think it's a good thing. I think it'll possibly be a good thing, and only time will tell. But as of right now, nothing changes for me.
Another change to the PFL this year, obviously going away from that tournament format, now having rankings, having champions, all that stuff. Do you like this new look?
Of like without the tournament, the normal format?
Yes.
I know a lot of fans like it. I would prefer the tournament. I like seeing, like, I grew up wrestling and I grew up boxing. Both of those sports, you have tournaments. You win, you see who you're fighting next. You kind of like look at the bracket. And then also, there's no picking and choosing your opponents, and there's no turning people down. If you can't take a fight or you're injured, you get a replacement in this sport, at least. And in wrestling and boxing, whenever you had somebody in the next round, you couldn't not wrestle. So I prefer it that way.
So you're getting ready to take on Bryan Battle on Friday. Very highly anticipated contest. Overall, what do you think of him as an opponent here?
Like I said, I was a fan of Bryan. I love the way he talks. I love his shit talk. He's great on the mic as well. He has a fun style fighting, but I think it's just a layup for me. I think his style plays to me so well against other people in the division. I think he would do very well against, but against me, I think his style plays up to me very well. It's just a layup, and I'm gonna slam dunk this shit.
Another interesting thing about this, not only you get to fight Bryan Battle, but you get to do it in his backyard, his hometown of Charlotte. Do you enjoy getting to go in here and kind of play that villain spoiler type role?
Yeah, so my last fight was in Pittsburgh, where I'm from. And if you watched the fight or if you were there, I don't know if they showed it on the broadcast or not, but with Impa's walkout and my walkout, they were like polar opposites, and nobody boos Impa. But when Impa walked out for my fight, you should have fucking heard it, bro. I was getting chills from his walkout when they were booing him. I walked second, I'm backstage with my coaches, and I'm starting to like laugh. You're seeing me break a smile before the fight. And then whenever I walked out, the energy was electric. It was crazy. I've never felt anything like it. So having that hometown support, it can go two ways. It could either, help you, hype you up, or it could hurt you. And I think it did a little bit of both for me in my last fight. And I don't know what it's going to do for Bryan, but I'm looking to be on the opposite side of that. I'm looking to get booed just like Impa did. So I'm not expecting these fans to welcome me, but regardless, I'm kind of like looking forward to being on the opposite side of that. I want to see what it's like.
You had mentioned coming off of 2 losses here, top 5 in the division by the rankings with a big win over Bryan Battle. I mean, does that put you maybe next in line for a title shot? Maybe one away, right back there?
At least one, at most one away for sure. So we'll see how things shake out. But I know Johnny and Costello have to unify the title probably at the end of the year, early next year. So give me another one in the meantime. Let me fucking avenge my loss against fuckboy Fabian Edwards. So he struck lightning in the bottle. And if we fight again, it's going to be bad. I might end the guy's career.
So you're being really active here, fighting for a couple times now, 3 months apart. Do you enjoy being active like this? Does it allow you to carry that momentum?
Yeah, and I know there's a lot of questions on if I came back too soon, but I did everything I possibly could to recover and be ready for this fight. And I feel great. I feel phenomenal. I made a couple changes in camp. I made a coaching change, and everything just seems to be going smoothly. Everything's meshing. The chemistry between me and my coaches is great, and I'm really fucking looking forward to this one, man. I'm not going to be able to articulate how great I'm feeling right now, so I just want to leave you with that, and I think this is going to be my best performance yet.
The life of a fighter, it's a roller coaster ride. You've experienced the highest of highs, you've experienced lows. How do you think you have grown and evolved as a person from being in martial arts?
Man, fighting is a lonely sport. Well, it can be if you're like, we're talking about sacrifices and we're talking about putting everything you can into your craft. If you're doing that, this shit can be lonely. I haven't seen a soul since May outside of the gym. The only people I've seen is at the gym. I haven't hung out with anybody. I haven't gone and done anything. It's just been training, going and doing my recovery shit, back to training, and then back home, eat, meal prep for the next day, sleep. And that's it. That has been it. And that's kind of exactly how my life was in college. Whenever I was trying to get into Bellator and trying to like make it big in fighting, and that's whenever I had my most success, and that's whenever I was doing best. So I'm back to that.
If someone would have told you when you were playing football that there was going to be a time where you could be main eventing PFL cards, would you believed it back then?
Man, when I was playing football, I wanted to make it to NFL. So if somebody would have told me that shit, I'd be like, I'll be making more money playing football.
For you, man, what's the ultimate goal? What are you looking to accomplish here in the PFL?
Oh, become fucking champion, and I know I can. I'm right there. I'm so fucking close, and a lot of people give up right before they're right there, but I'm not fucking giving up. And I keep knocking on that fucking door. I'm right there. I'm knocking, but this time I'm going to kick that bitch down.
All right, Dalton, last question for me, my friend. In a perfect world, what is the outcome August 7th when you main event PFL Charlotte against Bryan Battle?
It's going to be a first round finish. It is. I believe that in my heart, in my soul. I'm going to finish him in the first round. I don't know how, but I am going to finish him.
Absolutely. Well, Dalton, man, thank you so much for chopping up with me. Good luck to you, and an absolute pleasure, my friend.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. That's it for us, Dave Carl Parisi. He's Mr. Dalton Rosta. Watch him August 7th, PFL Charlotte main event, taking out Bryan Battle. Don't blink, fight fans. It'll be a fun one.